Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the daily scan for Wednesday, May 8th, 2013. Looking at scheduled announcements for today, we got a Fed chairman speaking and EIA petroleum status report. Nothing real exciting out there. Don't really expect anything from a market perspective to be shocking here at all. Alright, let's jump over here. Looking at the futures opening at flat to just a tad higher at this time. Gold is also flat. Silver and oil is hanging right around the mid 90s as it's been doing since its recent pop. We'll take a look at our future hedges quickly. They've done a little flip-flop on us here. The E-minis is down $3,500 rounded off, and gold is up $2,500 rounded off. So we went from $2,000 ahead to $1,000 behind in just a day or two. Funny how that happens, but that's the way it works with futures if you have never traded them before. We'll take a look at the account. The alert did go off on CF yesterday, but I did not do anything because it was pulling back when I went to take a look at it. I'm hoping that, just kind of hang on until expiration on this. And, we're getting very close to our short strike, and the elevated volatility is causing our white line to sag a bit more than it normally would. Still just not doing anything on that. I'll probably put another alert on it when I get to the chart. As a matter of fact, I could just do that now. I'll just put another alert on it. You can see that, in the morning it popped off. The alert went off almost immediately after the open yesterday, and then when I went to go take a look at it, it was down again. So I was just going to put another alert up here, and I'm going to alert this thing to death. At or above, that's what we're looking for. We'll see how that works out today. Back to the account. Everything else is pretty much as expected, including the insurance policies, but I did want to take a peek at the chart on IWM and point something out. I think I have found my successor. Remember on this date, which was 4/15, when my grandson, he's a whole whopping 4 years old, and I were discussing whether IWM was going to continue up or if it was going to do a pullback. Not so much in those terms. My question to him was, is it going to continue to be green and go up, or is it going to turn red and go down? I said down, indicated by this arrow. He said up. Not saying anything about this level, just that this was a reference point here. And guess who won on that? So I may be retiring soon. I'll just leave it at that. And to take a look at MasterCard from yesterday. Alright, so here at 1326.56, that order that I had in, that conditional order that I had in, where I was waiting till after 10:10 in the morning, and I was waiting for MasterCard to go over 550. So let's take a look at that chart. and we can see that I have an arrow here at the 550 mark. It did almost go above it in this candle, which starts at 9:30 excuse me, and ends at 10:48. Did not quite get above that, didn't quite get above it here either, but on this candle it did get above the 550. So this candle starts at 1324 and the order executed at 1326. So it looked like as though everything worked good on that. Now here's the price, 64 cents. And when I was looking at it pre-market yesterday, it was 85 cents. So I lost about 20 cents on that, but that's to be expected because of two reasons. One, price moved up a little bit, so the bull put became the premium dropped on it somewhat, and I had a market order in. So I got probably market price. I don't know if I got any sort of price improvement on that at all. I don't really expect to when I do a market order. But whether 64 cents, is that what it was? Yeah, whether 64 cents was pretty good at that time or not, I don't really know. It's just that the order worked, everything went as expected, so we're ready to rock and roll. I didn't do anything on the Profit 10 portfolio. I was looking at MasterCard and Celgene, and I have not opened up those yet. So this is the way we're looking right now on MasterCard with this conditional order that triggered yesterday. Alright, let's take a peek at the A+ list. We'll just do the scan and get out of here and call it a day. Apple. We will start with Apple. Okay, this little arrow here is telling us that it flattened out and is starting to turn up. I think I can take this off of here for right now. Now, we are now looking for a stochastic to pull back. Because we are in an uptrend, we have some strong momentum over here on the weeklies, strong momentum on the daily. We're looking pretty good for a trend reversal here in Apple. So, you know, if you just want to go long on this, you could just go long right now. I'm not going to argue with anybody about that. So if you were to, for instance, take a look at June, looking for something with a 20 delta or thereabouts, you would be looking at 425, and your short would be sitting right about here. Probably 420 might be a little bit better. Is there money in 420? Is there money in 4? That rhymes. Let's change this to 24. So if we did a 420, you still get 80 cents credit on that, but you have to hold to the end of April or May, beginning of June, before you can suck any decent juice out of it. So this might be a good thing. I'm gonna just put a marker in here. Oops. And just I want to make it yellow. Just so I know that it's just a thought. And 5.9. Let's go to 5.8. And this would be June 22nd. And we'll just put a bunch of question marks on that. So we'll keep an eye on that to see if that's totally contrary to rules, of course. But if we were to look at the weekly here, we do have a hookup, but that was 2 weeks ago. So yeah, you know how that works out. Anyway, next up is Amazon. Pretty flat right now. This might be a good candidate for a June IC, and I'm going to take a look at that later today for the Profit 10 portfolio. I think you can get a pretty good range on this. Baidu. Possibly another good. See, we got a little bit. 50 MA just turned up here. And there's some good news out of China, although there's a lot of skepticism whether the data is accurate or not. But be that as it may, maybe another candidate for an iron condor, but I just would rather play with something that's more than $100. For a directional trade, nothing there yet. We might be into a trend reversal, and like Apple, if we're going through a trend reversal, what do we have around 20 is 82.50, which would be down here, and that would probably be a pretty safe play. So I'm going to put another indicator in there just like that at 82.50. Just to see if violating rules and spotting a potential trend reversal can be a profitable strategy. Alright, we'll be keeping an eye on that one too. Celgene, looking at an iron condor on that. I think we should get in on this. What's the price now? 46.37. So we would have made just a tad bit of money on that if we had gotten in yesterday. So we probably will be getting in today. I'm making a point here on my notepad to enter some of these for the Profit 10 portfolio. CF. Oh man, it's like some sort of torture, like a rat torture, where it's just taking little nibbling bites out of you. Alright, for a directional trade, I think I looked at this yesterday to get rid of those ovals. Not really seeing anything, and there may be some sort of a trend reversal going on here. Yeah, she's getting pretty flat, so we'll just kind of keep an eye on that. See what happens there. She may be going into a upward trend. We have a white dot over here, and we've crossed the center line. I have to make a call on this. I just don't want to take that loss. There's not enough time to just buy the short back and let the call ride. At least not right now. Alright, that's a little troubling. I hate taking losses, don't you? I mean, I hate taking it, but you have to do it at some time. And I'm just trying to get this to look a little bit better here. I want the perfect zoom level. There, that should do it. Okay, Chipotle, nice pop on earnings. Here's another thing that you can do when you get a huge pop like this on earnings, is get in with a, if it's a bullish move, then you do a bull put, and if it's a bearish move, then you do a bear call, and do it out far enough, because most of the time these things consolidate. Even if there's a huge gap and you think they might eventually fill the gaps. A lot of times it just takes a while, if it's going to fill it at all. So that's a good idea on after earnings when you see a pop like that, is to just jump in the direction that it went. But for right now, there's nothing there. Ooh, we have a perfect doji here on gold yesterday. Downtrend, we have a hook down here. Still not believing that this downtrend is going to hold. Let's take a look at what kind of June type of trade we can get in here. We have, alright, 132. No, we want to do a bear call on this. Following our rules, 148. 148 up here. That's probably fairly reasonable for June. Kind of implied volatility are we looking at? In the 20s. 142. Let's take a look at the first week expiration in June. What kind of volume are we looking at around there? Open interest 72. Weeklies don't, at least not that far out, don't seem to be that popular. We would probably stick with a normal monthly expiration on this with a $20. Let's see what kind of money we can pull out of that. Ugh, that's ugly. 19 cents credit. Of course, these are only $1 spreads, so if we stretch this out to $5, which would bring us up to 53, that's a 63 cent. So that's about a 10 to 1 roughly. Risk to reward. So 63, 437, a little bit better than that. That might be a viable trade. We're looking at 148, which would be up here. Yeah. That might be good. We're still headed down long term here, so I'm going to put gold in. We got an alert. We got an alert, folks, on gold. Alright, so what are we looking for here? What kind of an alert? I think below any of these closes here, just because that seems to be a good spot. So, at or below. That looks good. Alright. There's a big battle yesterday on the buyers and the sellers, and nobody won. Alright, next is Google. And Google right now would be a chase. I think it had a little bit of a pullback yesterday. Just a tad. Just a minor rest. Don't want to chase this particular one. But again, same thing here on earnings, only it just continued to march up. So the day after earnings, whatever direction the price moves in, if it makes a big move, take a trade in that direction. Alright, Goldman. So I think that Priceline has earnings coming up. Goldman, yeah, their earnings here, they did a huge drop. Would that, a trade like that may have worked out back then, because you may have been doing a bear call, you know, up around 154, 156, quite possibly. But for today, we have a trend reversal here again on another one that was moving down. Don't have a white dot here yet, but MACD on the daily is on its way and marching up. So Goldman is kind of looking pretty good right now, but I'm not going to do anything with it. LinkedIn. Was there? Well, I don't remember if it must have been aftermarket on this candle. And this, you probably could have taken a trade up here with the June expiration as well. Let's just take a look right now and see. June expiration, and we're looking for a 20 delta. So back then it might have been 205, 200, somewhere around there. So you'd have been way up here. So that might be a pretty good deal. I'm going to put another little marker up here. Dang it! Why do I keep doing that? I'm sorry if I'm taking too much time here. And the application is just a tad slow as well, and I hear the fan on my machine running. So I know that something's going on. Alright, I'm just going to leave it like that and move along quickly here. Try to MasterCard. We're in on that one with a bull put with plenty of room, hopefully, for this. I'm going to take this arrow off of here, and that should be it. No reason to look at that any further. We're still in the Iron Condor on Netflix, and it's doing pretty well. Big gap up here, consolidation, another earnings gap that could be played, which is basically what I did with the Iron Condor. So that's another strategy that you could use when that happens. Not real excited about what I'm seeing over here on this. So hopefully we hang in there for expiration. Priceline has earnings coming up today. How about that? Unspecified. I wonder if they really are having earnings today. I don't know, but whatever direction it takes, tomorrow we're going to take a look at it, provided they did have earnings today, and figure out what we are going to want to do, because here we had our gap up, and a bull put would have worked just fine on that. So if we get a gap up or down on earnings, we're going to take that direction the following day. Okay, Panera Bread. And we were looking for a secondary entry down here. We are still looking for a secondary entry. I think we were doing it off of this weekly chart. Oh yes, this should be, let's see here. They had their earnings, they gapped down, and that one may not have worked out. But we may want to get in on a June around 2017 at 170. Here we have it in down here at 170, and it's paying 55 cents. We might actually have to tweak it up. So I'm not going to set an alert. I'm just going to say I'm just going to take a look at this. And see if we get a little bit of a pullback today. I may still get in because I'll just get a little bit more juice out of it and a slightly higher premium than this 55 cents. So I'm going to lock it in at 55 and see what happens later today. Alright, and the last one is Visa, which we are in right now with this June bull put. and it's behaving very nicely and maybe coming along here to give us a secondary entry. Who knows? Alright, I think this may have gone a little bit long. 25 minutes, whoa. I'm sorry about that, but I really wanted it to be short today. Alright, everybody have a great day. Thanks for watching and happy trading.